Oh, it says we're live. Okay, we are live.
Does the volume work?
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, it works. Because if we look right there, it works. And now this one. Okay. A tip to get better sound quality and avoid echo, please use a mic. Well, I haven't really listened. Yeah, I guess I have. Yeah, it's fine, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We are good to go. Hey, guys.
Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. We're kind of late.
I thought yesterday was Thursday, so I was asking Colby, I'm like, did you take the garbage out? And he's like, to the road? I was like, yeah, it's to the road. I was getting frustrated. And he's like, and then I was like, what day is it? It's not Thursday.
I know, this week is flying by. Hold on, I've got to sneeze.
I think because we got to take a hiatus on Monday.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So I was like, we had an extra weekend day.
Yeah, we had a day off. Hey, guys, this is Farrah and Allie with the Finessology podcast. I always forget to say that.
I was like, did we just start?
Yeah, no, I'm just going to throw that in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so this is Finessology podcast, and we're a couple days late because, it's been a crazy, hectic week. Lots of shenanigans going down. So, yeah.
I'm eating. Sorry, guys. I'm so hungry.
Alex is eating, and it smells really freaking good.
Did you want some?
No, we're good.
Oh.
We're good. I have Dusty's so I had to take notes on today's episode, and I wrote them in my daughter's journal. So she writes stories. This is about murder. So
and a gun in my pocket.
It's my kid. So this is a story about a stranger coming to her house, and the mom killed him. So, mom's awesome and saved the day.
Moms are awesome.
That's chapter 1, stranger danger. That's what it says. And then chapter 2 is crazy girl. She's fun. I promise she's like a ball of sunshine, but she's the dark side.
I hope she writes books when she gets older.
She's really good at writing, and she's good at spelling. She cracks me up. But anyway, so I stole her book. She's going to be real mad. This is her fuzzy. Side note, I had one of these when I was 10. I taped.
The fuzzy ones?
Yes. It was this exact one, except for it didn't say fierce. I taped a cutout picture of Usher from a magazine. I taped his face to this fur. And my dad's like, that is not going to stay. And why do you have his picture on your freaking notebook? I'm like, because I love him. I loved Usher back in the day.
Back in the day.
Yeah, he's a cute man. Okay, so today we are talking about having good judgment versus being judgmental. And I think it'll be kind of a funny podcast because we surveyed you guys. And I think you're all liars, though, because
I had a couple on mine I thought were funny.
Yeah.
I only had 2 respond to mine. I mean,
yeah.
Because I have so many people. But it just made me laugh what they said.
Yeah, it made me laugh, too. There's a lot of them that made me laugh. And then some of them made me sad because, I hate when people are overly judged about certain things. And some of it I felt bad because I'm like, oh, I do that. Because we all freaking do it.
I think I'm more judgy than what I give myself, what I think I am.
Right.
Because I don't outwardly say it.
Same.
I just like to hold it inside. And it's one of those thoughts that are they're so quick.
Yeah.
That I have to shove them down. Why am I judging that? Who cares,
Right. Well, and it's the same with me. I'm the same exact way because I have always tried not to be a judgmental person. I always tell myself, don't judge them, don't judge them. And I tell everybody else around, don't judge them. But then it's the reason why we were thought about this is because I'm there's just some things you innately judge. You don't even think about it and it just goes off in your brain. And then you're oh, I'm an asshole because I'm judging them.
One of them makes me laugh is when I'm driving and I see people because I see my mom do this and I see people do it when they take fast food and they unwrap it and they have half of it wrapped in the wrapper and they're eating as they're driving. And so I'm what the fuck why are you eating that? And then when I do it, I'm people are judging me.
I know. The whole time because I always usually have it in a container or something when I'm eating. And I feel everybody's looking at me.
Hi, GNC Gents and Nutrition. I love you.
Hi, Sean. We love you. Or Emily, it's probably Sean because he's the one that told us to do this.
Oh,
this is all his idea. The YouTube live, which has been amazing, by the way.
It's saved me at least 2 hours of editing, and then you from having to be where's the podcast?
Yeah, well, and I feel it's more than that though too, because the YouTube we couldn't get it.
Oh, yeah.
We couldn't get it to happen because it just takes so
It was
long.
an all-day endeavor.
Yeah. So anyway, we just need to tell more people that we do it because that's been the hard thing is the advertising.
Yeah.
So if anybody out there knows of any people that are like podcast managers that want to throw us a bid, that'd be cool.
But that's not like too expensive because, you know, we are just
we're on a budget. So yeah. Anyway. Okay. So I'm just going to read some like differences and judgment and versus being judgmental. So judgment is the ability to make considered decisions or come to sensible conclusions, which we all have to use judgment on multiple things every single day.
Oh, yeah.
Decision making, just, you know, that kind of thing. Judgmental comes from the ego. It's a harsh criticism in order to make ourselves feel good. And it can be a safety net to protect ourselves from making unwise decisions or from deep insecurities. So obviously being judgmental is not what we strive for, but I feel like there's certain things that get blurry lined, maybe blurry eyed. It works.
It's the same thing.
Yeah. So, like for example, when we have like somebody in our family that has like a drug addiction or a drinking addiction or whatever, and we like judge them, but it's because we want them to be better. We want them to be safe. We want them to be healthy. Like, I feel like that kind of falls underneath judgment. Now, if we're being like judgmental and like being rude to them over it and shunning them and maybe not reaching out for help or, you know, that kind of thing, I think that's more along the lines of judgmental. So there's definitely like a fine line there. So yeah, what are you doing?
I'm just writing down what I judge.
I was like, what are you doing? So I think, should we read those?
If you want.
Because I had surveyed some people. Well, first of all, like, what do you feel like you innately judge?
I was writing those down.
Oh,
I think I do a lot. Like, these aren't even all of them. And it makes me sad because I don't like to judge people. One is appearance. Like, if the thing is that I don't know. So like when you see a woman who is full figured and she's rocking it, my first impression is like, why are you doing that? And then I'm like, wait, stop. No, that's awesome. Like, I love that you're doing that. And I'm not vocalizing this. I'm just trying to train my thoughts in my head. Brain. And then I'm like, I think that's our society.
I think we've been in this culture. We talked about this a couple of podcasts ago. It's that culture that like fat is bad. Fat is bad and you hide it. And that's what we've been raised, which is like absolutely bullshit. Yeah. But that's kind of how we've been raised. So I think that it is kind of a fight in your brain.
It is, because like the body that I'm trying to get isn't the body that my husband likes the most.
Right.
Like where I'm at now, he's like, I like it because it's like, I got something. He's like, at first I thought I was going to break you, but now I just like love it all. And I'm like, you like the cellulite and the big ass and it bounces. Like it's just, ugh.
I think it's very different what we want of our, like what we expect from ourselves versus what our partners expect sometimes. So
ratted hair is another one. I was talking to Farrah about this, like the old style, early 2000 look where like you had to like really rat it. And then the girls would like pin it and you'd have like Mickey Mouse ears. I still see people do that. And I'm like,
no,
to each their own, I guess.
I'm not into it.
People's diets, I judge.
Yeah.
Inside. These are all inside of myself. These aren't things that I vocalize.
Right. Just innately.
What I like some people eat and I'm like, why are you eating that?
Yeah.
Like greasy fried
I actually don't think I do that at all.
That's good.
Which you would think I would. Yeah. Because of like maybe that's why I don't.
I guess I take this back. I judge the diet based on what the person looks like.
Okay.
So if you see like an obese person eating fast food, it's like, that's why.
Right. Yeah.
Yellow teeth. I'm like a teeth person. Like I like really nice teeth.
Yeah.
So like I judge a person's character.
If you see their teeth and they're like yellow, would you like assume they're like a smoker or they
probably I wouldn't date them.
Yeah. You wouldn't want to make out with them. You want to put your tongue all over their teeth.
No. So when I was dating this guy back in the day, I'm like, I'm not gonna say the name because anyways, we went to his friend's house and he kind of warned me like, hey, you might not be comfortable in this person's house. And I'm like, all right, that's fine. We walk in and like it reeked of animal pee. every inch of the countertops and everything were covered with like appliances, dirty dishes. Like you could not see the countertop. It was dirty. Things had grease on them. The floor was disgusting.
Yeah.
Their child was running around with no underwear on. And this was a boy running around with no underwear on. It was like, I didn't want to touch anything. And I tried not to be judgy because I tell myself all the time, people aren't going to be as clean as I am. They're not going to be as organized as I am. But I was like, I stood there and I couldn't even lean against the counter. I was like, don't touch anything.
It's really hard. That kind of thing is hard when it makes you uncomfortable.
But it's like I judge on it, but then I'm very insecure when people come into my house because I don't feel like it's clean enough.
Yeah, that's just you.
I know.
That's just you.
Whatever. But I judge judgy people. I fucking hate judgy people and non-accepting people.
Mm-hmm.
I will be open about those though.
Me too.
I won't hide that. Those are things that I will vocalize. Like, I fucking hate how judgy you. I'm going to judge you for being judgy.
Yeah, like that's the number one thing I probably judge is closed-mindedness or people that can't listen to other perspectives or that like are closed-minded and not accepting and not understanding, like no empathy. I really struggle with people that are like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And then I find myself like dreadlocks. I don't know if I really like dreadlocks.
Okay, so I saw a girl yesterday with dreadlocks and she was beautiful. And it wasn't the like extensions that you go and get.
They're real.
She had like real dreadlocks and she was beautiful.
I think my initial reaction, because I see a lot of guys and stuff with that too. My initial reaction is just like dirty.
Yeah. Well, so when I was a kid, and we'd go visit my brothers in California with my mom, they had a friend that had dreads. And I remember my mom saying, that's what happens when you don't wash your hair for a long time. And so it kind of like, that's what I associate with. But yeah.
And then let's see, I am judgy towards parents that, I don't know how to word this.
Or asshole parents.
That don't take accountability for their children.
Oh yeah.
That are enabling their children and that to take accountability. So if their child does something wrong, it's like, oh, they didn't do anything wrong, or they don't recognize it.
Right.
Fucking drive.
Or they're blind to it because it's their kid. So I feel like somewhat at parenting, like we judge because it is it's like a safety thing, right? Mm-hmm. Like we're gonna judge abusive people, negligent people, and because that is like a judgment call of like, that is an unfit mother. They shouldn't have a kid. That's not being like, oh, I don't like her parenting style. So I think there are differences in judging because I'm super judgy with negligent parents or parents that just I was going to say don't parent right, but I feel like there's so many different ways to parent, but you know what I mean? They're like abusive, negligent, that kind of thing. So I definitely think there's a fine line there.
But those are the ones that I just wrote down. The two on mine, one said mullet, and I put, why do you not like a mullet? This is a guy saying a mullet.
Really?
I'm like, why don't you like a mullet?
I like mullets.
Let me see. I can't remember what he said.
I mean, I don't love mullets.
I put, you don't like them? And he put, well, nope. And I'm like, but they're great to play with and hold on to. And he put, LMAO, touche.
Oh my God. You're like, okay, I got that.
And then I had one more, and they said when they wear BYU clothes.
Oh, I know who that was because he said the same thing on mine.
Yeah.
So that's funny. My dad graduated from there. So
really?
Yeah. You knew that.
Did I probably?
Yeah. Law school.
Oh, guys, my brain.
It's fine. But
judge me.
I know, right? So for me, I have a couple funny ones that I've told you about. Like mine's diesel truck drivers. And I'm sorry, guys. Like if I already know you and you drive a diesel truck, I'm not going to judge you because I already know you. Like unless you're
sunglasses.
Unless you're a douchebag. I don't judge the white sunglasses. I think that's more of like a
when they drive a big lifted truck and they're like 5'9" and wear white sunglasses. I judge that.
I just pictured an individual.
Yes, me too.
So the reason why I have a hard time with it is because I dated a guy that used to coal roll people, and he would do it to bikers, like people on a bike,
and
like
laugh about it.
Cyclists. Yeah. And he wasn't a mean guy. Like he wasn't like a mean spirited guy at all, but he was like irritated one day, and we were going around like a bend, and there was a whole bunch of cyclists, and we were like out in the country, and he got so irritated that he had to like wait for them, that when he went around the corner, he freaking coal rolled them. And I was so pissed off. I almost got out of the truck. Like I was so mad at him because I'm like, are you freaking that rude and selfish and disrespectful? Like, oh, and then I was like so irritated by it that I like went and looked it up to see like how, if it was like bad for people and
to breathe in.
And there's like a community of pole rollers out there. And I'm like, they're all fucking assholes. So like I have the hardest time with diesel drivers, like the ones that just have the big ego. Like that's what I picture. And I'm totally generalizing because I do have some friends that drive diesels and they're great. But if I see one, I automatically judge them. Yeah. Like, even if they're great, if it's a female, I don't fucking care. Like, I just look at it and I'm like, wow. Like, just immediately.
No thanks.
Yeah. And yeah, anyway. And I feel like a jerk because, like I said, I've got a lot of friends that do it. But just so you know, it's where I'm at. And then another one was today. Lacey and I were at the gym. And I realized it because of this podcast. Like, I was doing it in my head and I was like, oh, there's one. So this guy, biggest guy in the room, like, muscle wise, like big, like I'm talking like raw big, like tall, freaking stacked, right? Like just you could see him across the freaking gym. Yeah, huge. And he had on a freaking jersey. And it was like, I don't even know what jersey it was. I don't care about the sports team, don't care, but it was just a striped jersey. And I was like, he could wear anything but that. Like, why do you have to wear that? So I hate jerseys, like the ones that are like the tank jerseys. Like,
I just picture a skinny ass dude wearing a jersey that goes down to like mid thigh with pants that go past his knees and chains. With bleached blonde hair.
There's a look, right? And this guy doesn't fit it. Like he doesn't fit it at all. He was like super muscly and like I just was like, and I told Lacey, I'm like, it's crazy how we judge. Because if I knew that guy, like maybe if I knew him and he was like the nicest person ever, I wouldn't care what he wore. So it's like if I know the person on a personal level, I don't give a shit what you're going to wear. Like, you know, but it's like when you don't know them, it's like, that's just what happens.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, why are you wearing that? Like, and it wasn't a big jersey. It was like a tight jersey, which I'm like, I don't know which is worse. Like it's all hugging his armpits. And anyway, I wasn't a fan. So there's that. And then what are the other things that I judge?
I think we judge a lot. I was just thinking of this. Like we judge people. Shoot, now I just lost it. Keep thinking.
I judge social media for sure. People show social media. It's like the stuff that they put on their pages, their story. That was probably the one that people were the most honest with when I asked that question. Let's go over these and we'll talk about them.
Okay, I'm going to think about what I was thinking about.
If you remember. So this one says, do you ever try really hard not to be a judgy person, but naturally or automatically you judge something without even thinking about it? And I said, what's something that you judge? We got lots of responses. So this person says, an Insta chick I didn't follow anymore and still judge her when her name pops up. Totally guilty. LOL. Yeah. I feel like I have a few of those. There's actually one that we met out of town one time. And I was like, is that your real voice?
Oh.
Yeah. I had no like concrete reason. I just could not handle her. Yeah. Well, I feel like I had some reasons, but I don't feel like there was any personal reasons. And so I'm like, I'm that asshole, but she was real hard for me.
Yeah,
she's still
there's
real
still
hard
some
for me.
people that just have that. I think it's their energy.
Something. Yeah. It's like, something. Let's see. Judgment is the foundation of civil society. We judge to develop morality and judge because of it. And yeah, I agree. Like there's definitely, we need judgment. Like we need to have that, but being judgmental is different. So.
Oh my God.
Right.
I am that.
Yeah. So bad breath is like definitely grounds. Like I just wouldn't be attracted.
No, it kills it for me. It does. It's one of the biggest things that kills it.
For sure. So not thinking. Yeah, that's definitely something that you can judge somebody for. I'll catch myself judging people on things I think others judge me for.
Yes.
That's a perfect point.
That is true. I am the exact same way.
Perfect point. Like we look at the insecurities in ourselves and project.
Yep.
Yeah. If they're wearing a BYU shirt.
Thanks.
I know. Being from England, I still can't seem to stop noticing a person's class when I first see them. So that's interesting. That's
interesting.
Yeah. And then men. So we said men. Oh, I don't know why that makes me laugh, but
it's like, yeah.
Yeah. Well, used to, but I worked on that a lot. I love that guy. I love him. I don't know if you know him, but you know his brother, and I'll talk to you about it later. Anyway, they'll go to Snap. This says, I usually don't judge anyone except dudes who wear beanies at the gym. I try not to.
I like wearing beanies.
I wear beanies all the time. So yeah, but I guess I could. I don't feel comfortable when I wear beanies at the gym.
Not when I'm doing cardio. Yeah.
I sweat so bad. Not after doing fuck tons of psychedelics. Thank God for mushrooms.
Oh my God.
I mean, it does, like, honestly, I can say about mushrooms because, yeah, I'm just going to throw this out here. I've done it. I feel like it's a very enlightening experience where you're very in tune and like in touch with everything. And you don't feel, for me at least, I wasn't negative towards anything except for like a couch. Because one of the couches was super
and some
mean.
of those trees.
Some trees. Yeah. Different situation. But yeah. Yeah, so I can see that.
This couch was so mean.
One of the couches was a total asshole. So let's see. And their kids' behavior,
Mm-hmm.
and then people who spell incorrectly on social media. I mean, your damn phone has freaking spell check. I used to judge that until like I don't anymore. There's a reason for that, but I used to be real judgmental about that.
That brings up a thing. What I was thinking about too is we judge people based on their situations, even though we might be going through the same one.
Right.
Because it's like, I
gosh.
can see that it's wrong, even though I'm still doing it wrong, but I know you should be doing it the right way and maybe I will too.
Exactly. Like we're so quick to call somebody else out when they're doing something, but it's like, well, I'm kind of doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's funny. Just ingrained beliefs from growing up. And
Yes.
I think that's huge, especially here. I think it's huge. How someone treats the server or custodian like they are below them. Oh my God. Have you ever dated somebody that does that? I have.
You know, I can't remember if they outwardly did, but if I could think of the narcissists that I dated, I'm pretty sure they were probably like that.
I dated somebody that the first time I saw it, because, you don't see it at first. The first time, I will never forget that I saw it. We were at an AutoZone, or no, it was a Jiffy Lube. And the way he treated this mechanic, I was like floored. Like, I was like, did he do something to you? Like, do you know him? Like, I was because he treated him so shitty. And he was like, no, he's just a fucking idiot. And I'm like,
excuse me.
I've been standing here the whole time. Like, this guy didn't do anything wrong, like at all. Like they just weren't agreeing on like a price or something. But I was just floored by the way he treated this guy. So
that's like with waitresses and waiters. I have been with somebody, not that I don't think I've dated them, but I've been around people who like are very picky eaters, and then they have to request. And if it doesn't come back or come to them a certain way, they give it back to the waiter or waitress and project it like it's their fault.
Yeah. And I am like the worst because I will be like, it'll be like fucked up, like whatever I'm eating, and I still won't say anything because I'm like, I'm not going to say anything.
Me neither.
Yeah.
It's not their fault.
Yeah. Let's see. So I agree with that. I do judge people that are dicks to people. We're all judgy in some way or another. Sometimes it's subconscious. Yeah, for sure. How someone treats the server. Or no, I already read that. Sorry. I judge what people post on social media. Or if I feel they are being judgy or super close-minded, I try not to. And I'm the same way. Like, I get super judgy with people that are close-minded on social media.
I just try not to be around those people.
Yeah, I just keep scrolling.
Keep scrolling.
Rude people. Yeah. And then people who are racist, sexist, homophobic, or don't realize it exists. And I put that. So.
I found a brand new trans on Instagram yesterday. Amazing. I am so fascinated. I am absolutely fascinated by that community.
It's insane. It's getting better and better. And it's like, I dare all of you homophobic people to not fall in love with that fucking girl right there that used to be a guy.
My God, like some of those girls and guys, I'm like, he is attractive. And then I go back and I'm like, he was a girl. Like, he is so attractive.
Yeah.
And me and Hensley were watching because she's fascinated too because she doesn't quite understand it.
Yeah.
But this guy was a beautiful girl. And now he's a guy. And he did like the breast surgery. So he has like scars right here. And the one that I follow has bigger like areolas. So you can kind of tell that he went through a lot of hormonal changes, but this other one didn't. I'm like, I love this community. Like somebody posted like, you must be disgusting or something for doing this. Like made this really nasty comment. And he posted his video about like, your opinions are like shit or something like that. Like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But I was like, how rude can somebody be to say that to somebody? Because they are trying to be who they identify with.
They're trying to be who they are.
Yeah.
Like, that's all it is. Oh, it just drives me crazy.
I love seeing those on TikTok.
It's inspiring.
It's my favorite.
It's really cool. Like, remember when Bruce Jenner turned into, who's he now?
Catherine?
Yeah.
Is it Catherine?
I think so.
I think Catherine Jenner.
Catherine, is it? Anyway, when Bruce took the plunge and is now a she. I loved it. Like, I remember sharing it on Facebook, and like I had so much hate, like saying that it was sick and wrong. Caitlyn Jenner. And I'm like, you know what? That man at the time has lived his whole life being somebody else.
Well, and that takes so much bravery to come out at that age
and being so famous.
Yeah.
And having a famous family, like everybody knows their family. And I'm like, that's fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Like,
I didn't get to see her journey very much. I didn't really follow it back then.
Yeah. That was like right when I met you.
Was it?
Yeah.
I didn't follow it. I just heard something and I was like, what happened?
Yeah. It was a huge thing and people were so mean about it. And I'm like, I even then I was like, she's inspiring. So anyway.
The gay lesbian community and the trans community, I'm like, I love you guys.
They're being who they are.
That's all I follow on TikTok.
Right? They're so fun. Like, it's just fun to see them come out and just be who they are.
Yeah.
And then somebody just put, yes, I believe this is normal. So that was just our first survey. So then now we've got, is there a reason why you think you automatically judge? So it says, I try really hard not to, but some shit is just funny or annoying. So you say something about it. Who wants to talk to or kiss someone who smells like poop? Duh.
Oh my God. I guess it's true though. Like,
yeah.
I get really self-conscious. I'm like, I can't.
Yeah.
I don't want to kiss you if I haven't brushed or drink water.
Yeah.
I don't want to have sex if I haven't just freshly showered. If I didn't just step out of the shower, we're not having sex.
2 seconds ago. I know, right? Yeah. I judge cheaters and homewreckers because I've been cheated on and I've never understand hurting someone you are supposed to love. Yeah, I think that's probably a really big one that people judge.
But
yeah. but what is that? Did you have a point?
Yeah, I'm not a bad person.
No, well, yeah, because you've done, yeah. Okay. I see. I was like, what are you going to say to this girl here? Yeah, no, and I think, people make mistakes.
I do.
Yeah. So, but I'm sure that is hard not to judge that.
Mm-hmm.
So, they wouldn't ask, wait, what? They wouldn't ask / say do or stupid things. They're pretty basic. Oh, okay. So that's why. What was my question again? My question was, is there a reason why you judge or why you think you automatically judge? Oh, little bun. So cute.
Let me clean it.
Uh-oh, what happened? Oh, okay. Oh. Sorry, guys. I
distracted her with the bunny.
Yeah, and you can't distract me because I'll get stuck. Okay. So just brought up that way. Oh, I was just brought up that way.
To not be judgy.
To be judgy or like on certain things.
Okay.
I was raised in a family so this is the one I told you, this person. I was raised in a family that used to do it with people about everything. And that is like, he's so different from like anybody I know in his family.
That's like the biggest thing is I want to teach my girls and trigger to like, no, because you judge, people judge you.
Yeah.
It's a two-way thing.
Yeah. So Dusty told me the story, side note. A little girl is new in their class and she has Down syndrome. And she was like, I just went up to her and I asked her if she wanted to be my friend and I get to take her around and show her everything. And I read to her and we play. And I'm like, I fucking love you. Like, she just is such a sweet soul. Cause I'm like, most kids would
tears.
Yeah. Like I did. And like, I was just like, oh my gosh, you're such an angel. But she just loves her. She's like, because her uncle's, Dusty's uncle's Down syndrome.
She like can relate so well.
She just does like they're best friends, and that's how she is with Cody. So she just like took control and helped her feel comfortable.
What a saint.
I know. I'm like,
I'm so excited to see where she goes in life.
Yeah, she's freaking amazing little shit. So let's see. I think people judge because they lack self-awareness. Judging comes from insecurities, and
absolutely,
I think so too, because we do all project that shit.
Yeah, because I judged this cute ass freak, and literally she has a cute ass. Because I went to the gym with Colby and this chick was walking around and all I could do was stare at her ass. I didn't even look at her face. I'm like, this girl's fucking ass. And I'm like, if she is around here.
It was like that one person we both know that like when we first met her in the gym, we're like, it doesn't matter what her face looks like.
Until we found out what she really looked like. Yeah. But I'm like, this girl. And she was walking around yesterday and I'm like staring at her butt. So I'm judging her because I'm like, fuck, I need to be the cutest one in the room, not you.
So then you find yourself like picking her apart.
But she's cute though. No, I didn't like pick her apart, but I was more like, wow, her fucking ass is amazing.
Yeah.
Cute little bubbly thing.
Good judging though.
Yeah.
That's not bad. Let's see.
I just don't know how to go up to her and tell her ass looks good.
Just go
because
tell
that's just
her.
what I do. But I'm like, I don't know how to do this.
Just tell her. Well, I always like, not to say like it's this great ass, but I will have women say like, what glute workouts do you do? So maybe just say that to her. Go up and say, what do you do?
My
for
ass
your
is bigger
glutes?
than hers. And I'm like, what do you do for your glutes?
She's like, I think you're good.
It's just, I was telling Colby, I'm like, my butt it like has those muscles on the top and then it indents and then it comes down, where hers is just this cute basketball.
She has like a little bubble.
But it's not a basketball, but it's a cute, like a soccer ball.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
And I'm like, but mine's not like that. That's what I want.
Implants?
Maybe can you just fill in this area? Just make it,
Just make it pop.
Make it pop.
It does. I put it on my story. Yeah. The other day. And my DM got broken. So
oh my God.
Okay. So this says, I think people judge because they laugh. Oh, I already read that. Sorry. I don't like judgy, closed-minded a-holes. And it makes me feel like they aren't open to conversation. Yeah, I agree. I get very insecure when I have somebody that I know is very judgy, because I'm like, I just want to, because I'm like very open and I will tell you all the things.
I shut down. Like, I don't even want to talk.
Right. And then, I said, I don't understand being insensitive or hateful, because I think the last one I put, I don't like closed-minded people, whatever.
Yeah.
Or I judge them. I think it's more situational awareness than judging. So yeah, like that's different though. That's not like, I feel like situational awareness is having judgment.
Yeah.
It's not being judgmental.
Exactly.
So that's how I look at it.
It's knowing where to place your thoughts and who to place your thoughts with.
Yes, exactly. So, okay, here we go. We got some voting. So do you judge others' parenting? So I think most of you guys are full of shit because your name is next to it and you guys know I can see who you are. But only 30% said that they do and that they can't help it. 70% said they try not to, which maybe I could have worded that different.
Yeah, because I would say I do, but I try not to.
Same. Because
I know I'm not a perfect parent and I know there's many different styles. It's just when they have negligence towards their kids.
Yeah, that's different. I feel like that's like, yeah, I think that's making a judgment call, right?
Like, I've seen so many freaking asshole kids, 5 and younger, swearing, disrespectful. Like, if you're, I don't put up with that shit. And I know my kids can be, but I'm like, I'm a monster.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I just think that everybody parents different, but we were listening to something, and I think it was for the pet peeve one, where it was like parenting or something. And they said that they don't put their kids don't have a bedtime or curfew. And I couldn't help but judge it immediately, because I was like, but that's going to hurt the kids, because like she would talk about how they'd be like tired during the day. And I'm like, but they're not
like structure.
Yeah. So, and I understand like letting somebody have freedom and that they make their own. I think that the whole methodology behind that is letting them have their freedom and they will innately make the right choice. But I don't think everybody's going to make the right choice for them.
No. And I've been judged so many times as a parent having a schedule, because they're like,
me too. Come
out, let's go hang out at 8:00 at night. No, I have to be home by 7 and put my child to bed. Well, it's only an hour. They can fall asleep here. I'm like, I'm not letting my child fall asleep in a stranger's bedroom.
Right. I know we used to get that all the time, because Dusty had her 10 o'clock nap and her 2 o'clock nap on the dot every single day. And I would get shit for that too. But I'm like, that's just how she is. Like, anyway. So do you judge people's sex life?
Do you judges?
Sorry. I was like, did I write that? No, I didn't write that. Do you judge people's sex life? So
yes.
15% said that they don't. I'm like, oh no, 15% said that they do. And then 85% said that they don't. I don't believe you guys, because I hear all of you freaking homophobes out there saying stuff about people's sex life, or saying stuff about like how many people so-and-so's been with, like.
Oh God. Yes.
Yeah. I think maybe I should have been more like specific, like put specifics instead of just people's sex life.
It's like that TikTok I watched where the husband's like trying to have the wife tell him how many people she slept with. And she's like, you don't need to know. And he's like, I want to know. And she's like, you don't need to know. And he's like, hey, on the count of 3, we'll both say it at the same time.
Shit.
So they count to 3 and she says like 147 and he says 7. And she's like, you've only been with 7 people?
Oh my God, that is awesome. I love that so much. It's always been the opposite for me and like the guy I'm with. And I'm like, oh, I didn't need to know. I didn't need to know.
I told Colby, and I don't know how he reacted to it.
Yeah.
Like he kind of just sat, and he didn't give me a reaction. So I don't know what his thought process was with it.
Oh, maybe he had to think about it for a while.
But he never told me how many he's been with.
Well, I just feel like I'm like, I don't need to know. Like, if,
No.
you know, I'm like, it's fine. Everybody has a past.
I can't even remember more than half of them. So
She's like, who? What?
We had sex?
I'm like,
when?
You don't remember this guy. We've literally had this conversation. So
Many times.
Anyway, do you judge what, we talked about sex life. I feel like so many people do that though. Like they'll judge a female, like we talked about this in the sexism podcast, the last one. They'll judge females on their numbers, but then the guys are like pimps. Is that a word still?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I feel like I'm old when I
But
say that.
even with like, people will judge you slept with him.
Yeah.
Or you slept
Right.
with her. Like these guys are fucking liars.
I know. I'm like, stop it. I should have been more specific though. It's probably my fault. Do you judge what they drive or where they live?
Yes.
So I do not.
Good.
Yeah, I
You're
do. Well,
safe.
okay. No, that's probably not true. So I remember specifically, because I just said I judge diesel drivers, but I remember specifically I dated this guy and this is not really my fault, but we were dating and he took me back to this like huge freaking mansion and it was like beautiful. And it was like up on the bench, the east bench. The east bench? Why does that sound so weird in my brain? And sorry guys. And like this house was just amazing. And I'm like, whatever, okay, cool. You know, we're playing pool and we're doing all this stuff. And then the next time we're going on a date and we're driving and like, remember on Riverdale how there was like the RV, it might still be there, that hangs from the billboard that's like talking about RV parks, and there's like this big RV.
Yes.
He's all, there's my house. And like I just started laughing because he took me to his house, like, you know. So come to find out he lived in a trailer. Oh. And he took me to his aunt's house. And so he lived in a trailer park in Riverdale, which if he would have presented it in that situation, like I still would have dated him, you know, but the fact that he didn't, I was like, what? Like, you know what I mean? So
I think there's a lot more to it though. So if he lived in a trailer, but he worked really hard and he had money and no debt, right, and was financially stable and wasn't lazy, then I could understand that. Because I'd be like, okay.
We were 16. Well, I was 16 at the time. Or 17. So we were still kids, you know, but he was a hard worker. Like he had, he loved like to do the Jeep. What am I trying to say? Jericho, like do all this stuff. So he had all these different toys and he had like this badass Jeep and he was a cool guy. So I wouldn't have cared, but just the fact that he like pretended. Yeah. So yeah, I guess I've judged certain things, but.
Well, and yeah, I've met people where they're like, I don't care what, this guy specifically, but I don't remember who it was. He said that he doesn't care what he lives in. Because he likes his toys so much more. So he had nice, expensive toys, like really nice ones, but he lived in a shack. Yeah. So I'm like, all right, I can see that. But like, I think the judgy part is I just don't want to be in a sketchy neighborhood. Like if you lived on like, I'm not even gonna say it. If you lived on the specific street, it'd be like, I'm not coming to your house. So
it's more of like it's like kind of that projection of like, I don't want to be in that situation. So you look at it and
like personally me, with like my OCD and stuff, I can't stay in someone's filthy house.
Right. Yeah. No, I get that.
And it's not that I'm judging. It's just that's just me personally. Like I literally cannot. Right. Like I will curl up like in a clean corner that I will Lysol and like just stay there in the fetal position. Yes.
I can see it. Cover up with some paper towels.
Yes. Some plastic wrap or something.
Yeah. I think that everybody's done this, but I don't generally judge. Like I remember I was first dating somebody and like he always had this like beater truck and I loved it. It was like an old beater truck, didn't care. And then one day this guy was like, are you dating what's his face with the caddy? And I was like, what? Like, I don't know. You know, I was like, what's that? And he's like, the Cadillac that comes in here. And I was like, no, like I'm dating, like, anyway. So come to find out he had a really, really, really nice Cadillac. I didn't fucking notice. I only noticed the truck. Like, so to me, I was like, I didn't give a shit what he drove. Like you know what I mean? Like that didn't make a difference to me, but so I don't judge that kind of thing. But
I think mine comes from my family too, though. Yeah. My dad's a very materialistic man.
Yeah.
My mom's not.
Right.
My first husband's family liked really nice, like they cleaned their vehicles like crazy. Like they loved nice, clean things. And I don't know if it was necessarily appearance, but it was more of like pride. Mm-hmm. And so having all of that, I just learned like, I love clean stuff. Yeah. Like I love it.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't know. Like I just am not, I don't look at it like that.
Because your energy doesn't need to be wasted there.
I guess not. But yeah, I mean, if I see dude driving a fucking Ferrari, then obviously I'm going to make a judgment call. Like that dude's loaded. Like that just is what happens. So I do understand it.
Well, I feel it too. I drove around in beater cars.
Yeah.
And I'm like, people are probably going to think I'm such a low life.
Yeah. And I don't even think about
cars.
it. Like, I'm like, I want my beater card. I want to drive around. But I think I shouldn't say names. Somebody had said to me, like, in your line of work, you need to have that look. And I'm like, no, I don't. I'm doing great. And I'm driving my fucking Kia Rondo. Doesn't mean I'm not making money, you know? So, but I do see that people make that judgment call. So it does put more pressure to want to do that. Hi guys. So I understand the pressure. I just don't feel it as deeply as other people do.
It was sales too, because I was driving my car around. And my boss was like, "You need to have a better car if you're going to take people around."
Well, yeah.
I can't afford that right now.
So. Right. Yeah. No, I don't know. I've got a weird thing about spending, but anyway, what about posts on social media? So 36% said that they judge people on their posts on social media. And I am definitely one of those people. Like, I wish I wasn't, but it's kind of, I was telling Lacey this about the guy with the jersey at the gym. I straight up said, I was like, and I just said this, I'm like, if I knew him, maybe I wouldn't be judging the jersey. Like I wouldn't even probably notice the jersey, but because I don't know him, that's all I have to judge him on. So it's kind of the same with social media, where it's like, you see somebody's social media and you're like, okay, like moving on, you know, if it's something that.
But how many unstable women do we know that don't make a living for themselves?
Right.
But then portray themselves as having everything. And not even women, but guys too, that we know on social media. Like, and it's like,
or the tools, like the douchebags out there that like we see their social media and like they have, for me at least, I'm like, why are their shirts off? Like, why are your shirts off? But then at the same time,
why do you do the same pose in every goddamn picture?
Single picture? I'm like, I hate you now because of that. Like
10 posts in a row, and it's like, oh my God, it's the same form.
Right. And it's interesting. It's interesting to see how people portray, like, I feel like they put the things that they want out there to shine. And somebody had said that to me when they first started training with me at Snap. And they said, like, I was terrified to come train with you. Like, I was intimidated. And like, when I met you, you're like the nicest person ever. And you like make me feel comfortable. And I'm so glad. And I'm like, do I put it out there that I'm like this narcissistic asshole? Like, maybe I do. I don't know. And
I think so.
I don't know.
You do. You're confident.
Yeah. I don't know. But I'm like, it's interesting because I think people don't mean to put out certain things, but that they do. And then I'm like, I can't follow you.
I want to know people's first impressions of me. I really do. I'm so curious.
Me too. I don't know if I want to know.
Maybe we should. Like, maybe we should do a poll on that.
Maybe we should have people roast us. Maybe we should.
We're opening ourselves.
I know.
Let's do it though. That would be fun.
I'm scared. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's interesting because like there's some guys on there where I'm like, there's one in particular that you'll know. He's the nicest person, very passive aggressive, nicest person you'll ever meet, like ever. Super nice. But every picture on Instagram or when he had it, I don't think he has it now, but it was like douchebag. Like if I just saw his Instagram, I'd be like, you are a freaking tool.
Yeah.
But he's so nice. I mean, anyway, such a nice person, but I would never know that if I saw that. So, and I think he deleted everything because I haven't seen his stuff in a long time. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, you'll have to tell me.
It's just pretty easy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I think he's one that like, I actually remember one of our friends was like, I don't like him because of his social media. And I'm like, but he's nice. Like he's so nice. So yeah, I just think it's just interesting. Social media is huge.
It is.
Or like I remember Jackie used to get so, I shouldn't have named her, but it's fine. She would just own this. She used to get so pissed at the people that would sing on their story, like that would mouth to the songs. Like she would get so mad. So one time I did it and just tagged her in it. She's all, God damn it.
Oh my Lord.
She's like,
I know one person in particular that did that all
I think we both do.
Time.
I think this person is known for doing it.
Yeah.
And it's too much. Yeah. And I just recently found out she calls like her kids' names on social media, like inappropriate names. Like, not just because I tell Dusty she's a little shit all the time, but like, bitch, like, you know, like,
I don't know who we're talking about, so you have to tell me.
Because I feel like it's the same person, but yes, we just got like our little whiteboard. Yes.
Oh, really?
I knew that you knew. Yes. Same person. Anyway,
I don't
so
follow that person
obviously
anymore.
There's some people that are notorious for doing certain things and we judge the fuck out of them. Look at us being Judge Judy's over here. But really, like, there's some parenting things where I'm like, don't call your kid things like that. Like, I mean, I guess.
Do it in the privacy of your own home.
Well, and people probably think that about me when I call her a little shit. Like, I call her that to her face. I'm like, you little shit, you know, like, that's just my thing. That's what my mom called me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm nice. So.
And I'm nice. Exactly.
But I call her a little shit. So maybe my mom did that to me.
And I tell her, stop being a dick. Freak.
Oh, we skipped this. What about their bodies or physical appearance? So 16% said can't help it, and 84% try not to.
I try not to.
Yeah, I don't, unless it's like, I judge hygiene more. If it's like an overweight person or a skinny person, I don't judge that. Like, I think I've trained myself not to because of my profession.
Mm-hmm.
But when it's like dirty, like hygiene, or like we had somebody working on our house where I could smell like mildew or something right when I opened the door, and I couldn't figure out what it was, and it was him. And I was like, and it's probably because he wears the same work clothes all the time. But
Ew.
I was just like, that kind of thing, I have a really hard time not judging, like hygiene.
Yeah.
So I'm like, there's no excuse to not be, for most people, hopefully.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. But I do know a lot of people that judge that, like, overweight people, like, are like mean about it, which sucks. Do you judge people's profession? 2% said yes. 2%. What about strippers? What about escorts? Like, don't tell me you have not judged them.
In the past, I have, but now that I know more about it and it's become more accepted, and that I'm older, and that I wish I was one, I don't.
Right? I was explaining to somebody the other day, like, it's not a sexual, like, you don't have to make it a sexualizing thing. Like, I understand that that's why it was created, but it's so, to me, like, admirable, because I'm like, I have no rhythm. I can't move like that. I don't have that kind of strength. You know what I mean? I'm talking about with strippers, and even with escorts or like sex workers. It's like, people do what they got to do. Like,
exactly.
So I don't do that.
Well, I used to judge. Taxidermy was one I think I used to judge because I'm like, that's gross.
Really?
Like, why would you do that?
Interesting.
And now I'm a taxidermist. And then I know people judge tattoo artists.
Yeah.
Like, because they must be like low lives, but I'm going to be a tattoo artist.
Oh, yeah. See, and I look at tattoo artists like they're fucking.
Oh, I do. I fucking love it.
But I think the one that I used to judge a lot, I don't know.
Mine was strippers too back in the day, but I think it's because a lot of them that I used to see, and I guess still kind of do, they're really hard looking. And they have children. And I think that's one thing that I was like, that's one reason why I wouldn't be able to be a stripper is just because my daughter.
Right.
But I also don't want to take that away from her if she wants to be one. Like, more power to you, you know? So it's like, the more I know about these professions and these women and what they're doing, and it's not just about their body. Like, they have degrees and they're smart. Oh yeah.
We've known like a lot of, amazing people that do that kind of thing. And I've, like, I don't know, I try not to, but there are certain jobs where I'm like, I don't know how you could do that. Like
politics.
Fuck. It's really hard not to judge politicians. It really is, because sometimes I'm like,
or the defense lawyers.
Oh,
defense attorneys.
Oh, fuck. Well, there's one. Yeah. There's just, those are not always the best people. Not all of them, but some of them suck.
Mm-hmm.
So, so it's hard. Sometimes there is definitely, like, I guess I do that more than I think. What's some things you feel or automatically, you feel that you're automatically judged for, or that people have judged you for?
Tattoos, my nose piercing.
Yes.
My parenting skills. Yes. My parenting.
I've been judged for the tattoos. I've been judged for what I wear.
Swearing.
100%. I get judged all the time for swearing, and I fucking love it.
My naked pictures on Instagram.
Yes. I have been judged for so many things.
My infidelity.
keep
I have so many.
I know. Same. Like, there's lots of stuff.
Who I married.
Who you married. I judge you for that. I'm totally joking.
I love you, babe.
I wasn't even thinking about that.
Oh, okay.
It was another one. Sorry. I was joking. I love Colby. So somebody put my body, and I definitely.
My boob job.
Yep.
Because I'm staring at your boobs in the.
I don't even know if I know the arrow is like on our kind of screen is right on my boobs. I don't know if I've ever to my face been judged for my boobs, for my boob job. No, not to my face, I don't think. Let's see. My current living situation. People tend to assume that defines my character.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yep. Like I dated a guy. He's actually the most successful guy I've ever dated. And he lived at home with his parents until I made his ass move out when he was like 27. Like when I was dating him, I made him freaking move out because I was like, I'm not going to date you and sleep at your freaking parents' house. And like, he probably is the most successful guy. So I think that is something that probably people.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But I knew he was successful and I knew he was doing big things, but I'm like, I don't want to be doing the walk of shame when I'm leaving your freaking house. So anyway,
their parents are sitting on the porch drinking coffee.
They would want to make me breakfast because they're the nicest people and I love them dearly. And they're still like really close to me, but they would want to make me breakfast. And I'm like, I'm embarrassed. Like, I gotta go. It's so awkward. So I'm like, you're getting your own fucking place. Let's see. As a kid, my ginger hair. As an adult, probably my parenting.
Sorry, I'm writing this guy back.
Yeah, I wouldn't take that shit off either. Rocket. Sorry. Somebody said that they have a piercing and they never take it off in meetings. So that's good. I wouldn't either.
No, I was told that I couldn't wear my nose piercing, like a hoop going down south, and I put it back on.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? Like, I am a good salesperson.
Get with the times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be progressive. I have to hurry because I gotta get my daughter. But
oh shit.
Let's see. My weight when they have no idea how hard it is and how I work at it. And she has PCOS. So I do know, girlfriend, because I've had to coach a lot of girls with PCOS, and it's so hard because you're intolerant of, your insulin's a freaking mess and can't have carbs, and it's just a freaking mess. And then your test is high, so you gain weight really easily. And yeah, that's hard. That is hard. And I know she busts her ass too. Let's see. I have worked hard and long hours and have been judged for being successful, which is crazy. It's jealous people.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I get judged for that all the time. I get judged.
You do.
I work too much all the time.
But then when you don't work enough.
I know. It's just, I can't win. Let's see. Owning my own business. That's something to celebrate. People are going to judge for everything. That drives me crazy. Probably how I dress. I'm not name brand person, no matter how much money I make. Same, bro.
Me too.
Right there with you.
Unless it's Lulu sometimes. But you know what? I found cheap ass leggings that are so much better than Lulu's.
Yeah.
And I can buy 5 of them for the price of 1.
Yes. My body, my teeth, and smile. Oh, dang it. Maybe hopefully it's just what she thinks she's being judged for and that she's not. Being divorced multiple times, my tattoos, getting pregnant while not married, and my Instagram content.
Oh, having 2 kids with different last names.
Yeah, my daughter has a different last name. I don't know, the fucking shit doesn't bug me.
I guess just 2 kids with 2 different dads.
Yeah. That shit just does. I think because of how I was raised, where my dad's you don't need to get married, you don't need to have kids. So that doesn't bother me at all. The fact that I wasn't married when I had Dusty, that doesn't bug me at all, but it bugs other people. Why aren't you guys married? Why aren't you guys married? I'm like, why do we have to be married? Ugh. Anyway, just a big dumb meathead. Oh, and he's so not. My appearance, people give me too much credit. Whatever, girlfriend. Let's see. Race. Yeah. I'm sure different races. I feel that shit.
Being LDS in Utah.
Yeah, that's a huge one. A lot of conservatives try to with economics until they find out my background. I love him. I need to talk to you about him. Let's see. He's one of my favorite people. That I might be mean or standoffish, but in truth, I'm just focused and shy. We have a lot of friends like that, but get taken that way. Facial expressions, being told I look mad or I'm upset. It's just my face.
It's just my face, guys.
My body. My weight, size, looks, clothes, house, personality, everything. My parenting and how I don't walk our dog. What? I don't walk my dog.
Just put him on a treadmill.
I just throw her out in the backyard. Let's see. Body, sexuality, leaving my religion, relationships, and parenting. So this woman is one of my favorites.
I love her.
She is so freaking amazing. And I've seen her.
I love your body.
Yes.
I love your sexuality.
Yes.
I wish that I could be like you.
Yeah. Well, I have watched her. We've gone to school together since junior high. And I've watched her become this fucking butterfly. Go from being religious and not to say religion is bad, but in her situation, I've seen her go from being a religious person to owning who she is and being who she is and not being afraid to. So I think
beautiful,
but I'm sure she gets a lot of shit for that.
What she portrays, I'm like, fuck, girl.
I know. And she's very inspiring.
Powerful.
And I guarantee you, though, she gets a lot of shit for it, just
sure.
knowing her background. Not posting on social media enough, and everyone assuming my ex has our kid all the time. Oh, I hate when people make assumptions like that. Like, I used to get that whole, your poor daughter probably doesn't get any cookies, or like somebody said like, oh, you're probably always at the gym. I'm like, my fucking daughter's on my pack at the gym. Like, I always have her.
Yeah, I got judged by certain people about that.
Yeah, I remember lots of times. Being incapable of doing something because I'm a woman. Yeah, we've received that plenty of times. Somebody said, hola, corazón.
Veo que tal.
Veo que tal. Not posting. I already read that. I don't give a fuck about how people judge me. And that is very true. And I know my brother very well, and he does not. And I'm calling him out right now. Looking like a bitch. I have never thought she looks like a bitch, but I bet people do. And then being overweight.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that's all the things. Wait, is it? Yeah, that's all the things that we had surveyed. But one of the things I wrote down was, how do we stick to values and morals without being judgmental? So I think that's like a huge thing. And I've like really tried to work hard on that. And I think it's just being like hyper aware of like what you're thinking. Like even just at the gym, like I was just saying, like I noticed I was judging that guy. And I was like, don't judge him. He's probably really cool. Even though like I want to judge him because of his freaking muscles, like of how big he is. I'm like, maybe he's not really cool. Maybe he's freaking arrogant. I don't know. But
I feel the same way though. Cause like, I don't outwardly judge. It's just in my head, but then I'm like, I don't know why I feel that way, but it's because of me. It's because I'm insecure, or like the girl with a nice butt. Yeah. And I'm afraid to not feel beautiful. Mm-hmm. So it's all within me, but I try not to do it outwardly.
Or it's like you've experienced something that's made you feel that way. So it's like how I was with the diesel driver. Like, it's like the diesel driver, I'm like, I know a guy that's a freaking douchebag that drives a diesel. And now I associate that, and so I think it's like our own experiences.
But then I project that more time than not, that's the truth though.
I know. And that's why, but I'm like, I do know some people that aren't, and I mean, you were thinking about getting a diesel and I wouldn't have
but I don't ever want, I'm the same though. I don't ever want to like blow smoke at people because it fucking pisses me off.
Well, and it's not even the blow smoke, but it's like so many of that, like that mentality of like, what was the video? I don't know if I sent it to you, but I took a video of this guy on the road that coal rolled me and it said, run you over on the plate.
No.
And I'm like, I just don't like your kind of mentality. Like it just drives me crazy, but.
This guy's in Dubai.
Oh, hello. My voice cracks.
Hello.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Affirmations
is I'm going to try not to be a judgy asshole.
Me too. That's my affirmation too.
I'm really going to try not to do that outward judgy. I mean, judgment call is great, and maybe a diesel truck driver is a good judgment call for me because I know I would not get along with them politically or in any other
Well, manner. We wouldn't because we're two powerful women, and most of the time diesel guys are ones that want to be the powerful man. So
I'm like, it's just real hard because I think we all associate the diesel thing. Like, and if you drive a diesel truck, I still love you, I'm sure. But
yeah,
if I don't know you, I might not love you. So I need to work on that.
Yeah, getting to know people before we judge.
Yeah, I need to work on that. So, okay, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. And
thank you.
We will definitely make sure this has sound and we'll definitely post it. And follow us, rate, subscribe, listen. What else? Give us some pointers if you guys know any podcast managers and all the things.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Where's the little button?
17 participants.